Alright, so good afternoon, Dr. Anthony, and good afternoon, classmates. I attended the seminar because I missed being a student, actually. I didn't realize that we're going to have this lecture. But anyways, so this is going to be my presentation for the culminating activity of our seminar on teaching content subjects effectively in English. Right? So, from this background of my PowerPoint, you're going to read the words "enjoy bailout package." So the key word here is the word bailout. Okay, it's the word bailout. So this is the title of my presentation for this micro teaching exercise. The title is "The Ethics of Corporate Bailouts: The Case of AIG." And bailouts in Chinese is 救治. Did I pronounce it right? 救治. Okay. So, but before we get too serious with the topic, let's go back to memory lane, exactly a decade ago, or 10 years ago. All right? When I became a champion, all right? A basketball champ. So unlike Eddie, who is just a bronze medalist, I'm the champ. So can you guess where am I in this photo? So just to make sure that my name is here, right? Where? Can you guess? Yes, this one. Right.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me. This is a bag. That's not me. Yeah, that's me. So, me and my teammates are employees of PhilAm, or Philippine American Life in General Insurance Company. Right? We are all financial sales executives, as they say. Right? It's a very fancy name for a insurance salesman. It's called financial sales executive because we are selling insurance plus investments policies. Okay. That's why we are called financial sales executive. Okay, we are all proud of being part of the AIG Corporation because Film Life is actually an AIG subsidiary in the Philippines. Okay. So we are so proud because we are being employed by the largest insurance company at that time. Okay. AIG was so big. AIG was so big because it is the insurer of insurance companies. That's how big it is. So it's like the Titanic. It's an unsinkable ship, or AIG cannot die as a company, right? However, the unexpected happened, right? We heard in the news that AIG is going to be bailed out by the U.S. government, right? So let us watch a very, very short clip. This is actually a 3-minute clip, but we will just be watching the first minute. Okay. Quiet in. Wow. Yeah, not responding, right? There, it's working. This is Taiwan. We're supposed to have a fast internet connection. Really? Is it slow in CICU? Where's the speaker? Never mind. Meguan Sheila. So, but the last part of that clip actually says this. Okay, it says here that AIG is so intertwined in the global market. When we say intertwined, AIG is well connected in the global economy. Many companies are relying on AIG with regards to ensuring billions of dollars of assets and loans. That a similar fate, the fate of Lehman Brothers, wherein the government did not injected money into that company, couldn't be tolerated. Meaning, they can let Lehman die, but they cannot let AIG go bankrupt. Okay. So the Federal Reserve of the U.S. or the Central Bank of the U.S. will offer the loan in return of 80% of the company's assets. So 80% of AIG's assets will be owned by the government. Right? So saying the move is in the interest of the government and the U.S. taxpayers. So, do you agree with this? Do you agree that the government bailing out AIG is the best solution at the time? Do you agree? Can you have a show of hands? Kwached. Do you agree?
It's must do, don't have any choice, right?
Okay. Why do they? Why does the government have no choice in doing this?
Because if the company, the insurance company dies, but they would have a lot of chain effects.
Yes, chain effect. So
afford that to happen.
It's like a domino effect, right? So when they die, a lot of companies, and even people, will be negatively affected, right? So, yes.
But the money that they use to bail out is from the taxpayers.
Exactly. Part of the money, actually. So yeah, that's another concern, right? Yeah, we're going to have that later. These are good. These are good answers. And this action of the government is actually a perfect example of a bailout. Okay, so if I'm going to ask you, what do you think is a bailout, in your opinion? So what is now your understanding of a bailout? Can you, in a way, personally define bailout for me? Yes, sir?
Sir, I never heard of this word. Could you explain this to me?
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, okay. What about the others? Have you heard of this word before? Oh, for my engineering classmates, they haven't heard of this. Bailout is actually a situation, or even an act, in which a failing business receives resources. Resources, most of the time, money, okay, from another business, individual, maybe very wealthy individual, or a government. Most of the time, it's a government, to prevent the negative consequences of that particular business's downfall. Okay? That's your bailout. Much like you have a friend that has money and you don't have money. So it's like your friend helping you to get by, to buy food, for example, right? To live. So bailouts can take the form of cash, loans, or stocks, or a combination of these three. Actually, for AIG, the government extended a combination of cash, loans, and stocks. Okay? So the taxpayers' money is the cash part. The government also gave them loans and stocks, or bought stocks of the company. So why do you think the US government bailed out AIG but not Lehman? So you have already answered this a while ago, the question, right? So, like what we have said, AIG was so well connected in the global economy, more than Lehman, that letting AIG die would also mean possibly the death of a lot of companies, okay? And the unemployment of thousands of individuals. Right? So normally, bailouts are given to industries, not just companies, also industries, whose failures could cause huge problems to the economy. Most of the time, it's the unemployment and other companies dying as a result of that big corporation or industry dying. So one example of the industry that is actually benefiting from bailout packages from the US government is the car industry. Okay? We have heard of General Motors being bailed out, being saved, Chrysler also. So these are some examples of car manufacturers that received bailout money from the US government. So AIG, like what we are reiterating, AIG was so big because it is a multinational insurance corporation, meaning it operates in different countries. Right now, they're still operating in 130 countries, but they have, in a way, downsized their operations. Right? And look at this. They are serving 88 million customers, almost the population of the Philippines. The Philippines is around 90 million. And Taiwan is 23 million. Right? So the customers of AIG is 4 times the population of Taiwan. And also, AIG employs 54,600 people. A lot, as of 2016. But ironically, AIG was founded in China. And in 1939, AIG moved to the US. And take note, AIG was founded in 1919. So 2 years from now, AIG is a century-old firm, 100 years old. Okay, so AIG was one of the victims of the subprime mortgage crisis, and AIG was saved by the US government through the Troubled Asset Relief Program, or TARP, okay, wherein the US government was authorized to buy or to purchase up to, this is the approved budget, to purchase these toxic assets, or in Chinese it's you du ji zhan. You du ji zhan. Okay? So they have this budget of $700 billion to buy those toxic assets. Toxic assets are assets that, if you buy, will more likely lead to more losses. Right? So during the time, what is the toxic asset? During this time, during 2008, during the subprime mortgage crisis, what is the toxic asset? Properties, right? Mortgages, real estate, right? So the subprime mortgage crisis was actually caused by the large decline in property prices. Right? So which led to, of course, missed payments, defaults, missed payments on home loans, and eventual foreclosures of the properties. So there was this huge supply of properties. Okay? That's why it's increasingly, the price is increasingly going down. Right?
I have a question. Could you explain the toxic assets? Because I'm not familiar with this term. So could you give some examples of toxic assets?
Okay, yeah. Okay. Like what I said, toxic assets are assets that will more likely lead to losses when purchased. So, like the houses during the time, right? So, during the time, the prices of houses are constantly going down. So this is 2008 because of very, very huge supply. So, this is a toxic asset at the time. Because when you buy this property, after maybe 2 years, you would expect that the price of this, that the value of this property will continue to go down, right? So if you bought it at 100, after 2 years, who knows? You will end up with $50, right? So that's why.
So it is a special job that used in this field.
Yes, it's a cult. It's a cult. But remember, toxic is normally being used to refer to poisons, right? Chemicals, insecticides. But here, it is being used to describe assets, right? Okay. So under the TARP, the government already disbursed, or meaning companies already took or availed of 426 billions of support. Okay? So the budget is 750 billion, but companies just took $426 billion. And 85 billion of those went to AIG. So this is the breakdown of that AIG bailout. Okay, so the 40 billion is actually taxpayers' money. The majority of it is cash being injected to AIG. And the 1.5 billion came from the U.S. Department of Treasury. The U.S. Department of Treasury is the treasurer of the country. They collect money through taxes and manage the revenue of the government. While the Federal Reserve is, like what I said, the central bank. Meaning, when the Treasury collects the money, they will transfer it to the Federal Reserve to be saved. Right? But the treasurer also has its own money that it can lend financial resources to different companies. Right? There. But the Federal Reserve, the central bank, is of course the richest, right? Because it is where money is saved.